Hey, boys and girls. Here's your next lesson for the day. We're going to skip our check-in in lieu of teaching how to look at pictures to identify positive and negative impacts the Industrial Revolution had on Americans. Your Thursday question was, how much did Robert Fulton steamboat cost to create? The answer was $20,000. Our daily news. In our last class, I gave you time to finish up your Chapter 10 assessment. Most of us are doing a very good job on that. Keep up the good work. I also wanted you to locate your DBQ project. I saw that many of you had not yet done that. I did go through classes, and less than half of you have actually opened up the packet and checked it out. Please make sure you do that today. If you chose to, you possibly also started analyzing the first media resource in our DBQ research, and that was the video on So Far Away from Home with Mary Driscoll. You probably identified some positive and negative impacts easily by watching that video. Today, I'm going to show you how to look at a pair of sources to identify positive and negative impacts the revolution had on America. This should give you a better idea of what to do as we go forward, looking through about 15 to 18 different primary and secondary sources. Remember, our goal is to find evidence to support our claims. All right, the goal of the DBQ project, you always got to keep this in mind. There are 18 different sources, 2 of which are media. The rest are going to be pictures and or short excerpts that you'll have to read, or I'll read to you. We are looking for positive, good things, and negative, bad things that the revolution had on Americans during this time in history. We need to first use what we already know, okay? And that's these items over here from Chapter 10. Don't forget about these. They're very important and will be helpful. We know that production increased with ideas like interchangeable parts, where each different person makes a separate piece, and then we have assemblers. Production skyrocketed. We know that speed of travel increased with Robert Fulton's steamboat and other things, turnpikes, canals, things like that. We know that the cost of shipping goods decreased as these inventions like the steamboat and the use of rivers occurred. We know that inventions like the cotton gin and the interchangeable parts made life easier for people. And we know that a variety of jobs were created. All these things were very good. What we haven't seen a lot of is how it's bad, okay? We're going to focus on both because you also need to produce a counterclaim in your writing. Let's take a look at a couple of pictures and get an idea of what is positive, what's negative about it. You'll notice that you really got to think deeply about this stuff. And here's the positive things. Let's take this car, for example. Cars were less abusive to animals. We know that a car doesn't die. You do need to upkeep it, but a car doesn't die like a horse or get injured. The speed of transportation, more consistent, perhaps more fast as well. Don't forget about comfort of transportation. Not only do we have padded seats instead of a saddle, but we also got a canopy. Okay. Negatives. Obviously, these things are powered by gasoline, so there would be pollution, right? What about car accidents? Loss of jobs in the horse industry, whether you're a horseshoer or a horse caregiver or something like that. The car would put that out of business. Let's go on to another one. Now here you're going to have to look a little more carefully, but very prevalent. Positive impacts. We see people using axes in tools, such as the iron. They are using conveniences like these cups back here, a stove to survive. These are all good things. We see people playing checkers or chess, and a woman here sewing. All conveniences in what would be seen as entertainment. Those are positive things coming out of the revolution. People had access to that stuff. Negatives. We know people are living in close living quarters, and that is a risk of disease. Think about COVID-19. So they're living in crammed spaces. Large families. This mother clearly doesn't look very happy. She looks very tired holding that baby. And old people we see like this grandma are working. Those would be things that would be negative about the Industrial Revolution. All right, your job today is to finish analyzing both. That is the 2 media analysis pieces. Dear America, the story of Mary Driscoll, So Far Away from Home, and the Flowcabulary music video. If you've been on top of things, you're probably already done watching Mary Driscoll's story about coming to America, the story of an Irish girl. And that would leave you with Flowcabulary, which is only 5 minutes long. I'm out of this. We'll see you next class, but keep your eye out for